Okay, we got two different styles right now. A little lighter weight team that's able to trapeze, and the other bigger team is hiking. So the hiking team's now on the left, just did a lee bow. And the trapezing team is going to be tacking out of there. This is a fit race for first, second right now. So yeah, they're going to go out. He's going to hike. Where did he go? Shoot. He's going to hike first, then he's going to trap. Here, let's watch this. This guy is just hiking. And we're looking at the stability of the mast. The mast is not lurching either direction. It's, if anything, a tiny bit of heel to leeward and then perfectly straight up and down. And now the skipper's got to steer very carefully on this program just to keep the boat balanced so the crew doesn't have to move. You're going to notice with some teams in the back, the crew sits up when the boat gets flat. You're going to see this guy, he goes out and his shoulder, in these conditions, 6, 7, 8 knots, his shoulders stay out and he doesn't move his shoulders in. He's just trusting the skipper. See? Crew just stays stable, and the skipper's controlling the power with the tiller and the main sheet. If the skipper pinches, the crew sits up and the boat loses all its lift on the board. You got to keep stability. See how he's still hiking, still hiking, still hiking, still hiking, still hiking. See that? That's all the skipper steering well. In these conditions, flat water and a Club 420, these are not trapping conditions. Trapping usually makes you go a little too low in these conditions, but the 9 Heist boys made it work. They're making it work. They're just really good at trapping. Preston trapezing in there. And there's River right next to him again. Okay, so she's still figuring out how to steer the boat. She's very comfortable with it heeling to leeward, and that's okay. Now you go back into hiking mode because you're in bad air under the fleet of wind. Okay, our routine for the sets is a little different for these guys than what I would do, but that's okay because they've got it figured out. She's going to hoist the spinnaker, cleat it, and then start to sit to leeward and grab the spinnaker sheet. Oh, it's already pre-cleated. And Preston's going to pull the guy. Normally I hoist the spinnaker as the skipper. I pull the spinnaker just to the front of the jib a little bit and hold it there, and we'll see how they do there. She's a little too low maybe, and he was slow on getting the guy back. River's got the spinnakers caught on the topping lift on the mast, so he needs to go super low. Sorry about that video. I was trying to drive and okay, you can see the difference here. Penalty turn, cool. A lot of times in youth sports people don't do penalty turns, and then what I tell people is if you foul, at least do a 360. If no one else is going to do penalties, we're going to do 360s. It's just not that important to win. If we know we fouled, absolutely 100%, we do a 360. If we're not sure, then it's a complicated question we can talk about later. Going too high. Going too high. Come on, Shawnee. Pretty good wind again. Race 3, Saturday. I think there's going to be some boats over early this time. Just as we suspected, he calls. Some boats over, but some boats get away with it. There was a couple boats over in that last start who did not get called, and that's just the luck of the draw. You know, sometimes we just can't have a general recall after every, you know, 1 or 2 people get away with it. That's just the way it is. Stella's too high. She needs to go down, 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 down. Yeah, again, she's just got the tiller to leeward. There's no way a boat's going to accelerate with the tiller pushed to leeward. The tiller has to be straight, or the boat has to be pressed down and get those telltales flying. Okay, I think River got off that time a little bit better. Only a couple boats called again. River's pointing too high. The bottom, you can't see him. The bottom of his jib is too strapped. So you can just see that crease in the foot. He's not moving fast enough to get to the crease yet. So just a little too over trimmed on the jib. That's what I suspect is the thing we're going to change. They look pretty good though. It is lighter actually, so the wind started this race only 4 knots. Always so much to think about. Race 3, look how glassy it is over here. The boats are standing straight up, barely moving. Crews are in the boat. And you look out here and there's people hiking. And there's wind on the outside. You can't really see it on my screen, but it is much darker out there. Even small little white caps out on the hard left. River has set himself up right on the edge, so this is going to be a better race for River for sure. So what we have to do with him is we got to learn the deck of the boat. We don't want that foot strapped with a lot of deck to leeward of the foot of the jib. So we just needed to burp it a half an inch, get the foot a little rounder, and the boat would have accelerated better. We actually play the jib. When you get really good, you play the jib a tiny, tiny bit sometimes while you're in the acceleration process. But who knows? Sometimes you just set it and go. Yeah, baby, made the left middle work, and they're out there all the way under those palm trees over there on the hard right. I think they overstood because the right paid late, but I think River and Shawnee out there having a better race this time. Race 3 windward mark. I think River and Shawnee are going to be, we're looking for the pink kite. I think they're going to be top 10 here easy. I'm going to guess 11th or 9th, something. We'll see. I think they hit the ley line almost perfectly from the right. So they played the left middle. There was more wind to the left of them, so some people were a little better on that one. It would be interesting to hear if they actually saw the breeze on the left or the hole on the right. It's a complicated sport. You got to look upwind at a minute and a half, and I bet some of the good sailors saw that big hole on the right. But you played the left middle good, then you got to the right, played that good. Now we're looking for a pink kite here. That's not it. Oh, you're coming around here, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10. I think 11th, we're going to see a pink kite coming around here. There, right there. Here it comes. About 12th or 13th, there's the pink kite. That's cool, man. Good job. Shawnee's first regatta crewing on a 420. And going against the best in the state. You can tell where the wind is by where the jib is. The jib's floating in the middle, so you're dead downwind. Don't need to go too low. He forgot the hook. That's okay. The halyard on the hook, she should head up 1 degree and hoist. She should stand up and hoist. Not necessarily. You don't have to stand up. Oh, his guy came out. So he has to take it off the mast. If your guy comes out, you got to take it off the mast. Oh no, he got it. Doing better on this run, keeping your pole squared further back. They're doing pretty good considering they didn't get to practice it all together. And Shawnee's really only flown a spinnaker a handful of times. Yeah, they're doing better. They're keeping the pole further back. Remember, as the breeze builds, we carry the pole further back. He's still got it too far forward. Yeah, see, that's too far forward. I think other people have their poles squared back more. Yeah, you can tell she's sailing between a broad reach and a dead run, kind of fluctuating a little. Jib is blowing out a little, so that's good. I think they look outstanding. When the jib collapses, the wind's more aft, and when the jib, well, I mean, that can change actually, because if you start surfing, the wind can go all over here. So anyway, enough of that. Looks good, everybody. Stability in the mast. You can see the mast doesn't rock to leeward very much. As soon as the boat starts to heel to leeward, we create dramatic rudder drag and we create a less efficient hull shape, and we depower the sails a little. Centerboard doesn't create as good a lift if the boat's leaned over. Leaders of race 3, their booms are not that high. Take a look at boom height, and they're not that high, so there's no need to have the mast raked way forward. It's pretty flat water, but a lot of people in the back have their booms way up. The thing I'm learning about the leaders is you'll notice the mains don't change very much in this wind range, 5, 6, 7, 8 knots. Look at this main, 8263. It's very, you see the wrinkles in it, and the wrinkles are just staying the same. Because as soon as you ease the main sheet, you lose power. The top of the sail twists off. So he might be a little boned on his main here, but he's doing well. He's top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So these are pretty tight main conditions. Okay, Sean switching sides too fast. Guys are doing well this race, beating a lot of boats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They're still somewhere around the top 12. Good. See if we get a little better set this time. Really important, we don't let the jib out more than about 10 inches. I think it's 10, 12 inches, and cleat it. Because it will go over the top of the guy and over the top of the spinnaker. Okay, let's see. So you ran over your guy. I think you lost 3 boats, but no problem. You fixed it. You should have just grabbed the spinnaker guy, climbed on your stomach, and pulled it around the front of the bow. Untying it wasn't necessary. Should have just dragged it forward from under. It wasn't behind your centerboard. So anyway, no worries. I'll talk to you about that. Okay, here we go. These guys again looking pretty steady downwind. She likes to sail very low, so I'm gonna have her sail higher downwind the next legs until she's fast, you know, get just a little pressure, a little speed, and then work low, not just go dead straight all the time. And then biggest improvement is off the starting line, you gotta look at your telltales and you've gotta press, get the leeward telltale flickering around a little, make sure you're not pointed too high, go on a little bit of a, you know, just below close haul, get speed, because you're trying to point straight up to the line, and you're just too close to the wind.